Hi everyone, this is the gas walkthrough for December 5th. I'm Philip Newman. Today I'm solving Moonstruck by Bill Murphy. This is a numbered room Sudoku. I have normal Sudoku rules, 1 to 9 in each row, column, and 3x3 box. Additionally, we have some clues outside the grid, and the clues tell us a digit that must appear in a certain cell in that row or column. And the way it works, this 4 here, the 4 in this row is going to appear in the nth cell where this is in. So if this were a 9, say, then 4 would appear in the 9th cell, so this cell. And that's how these clues work. That's it. So let's get into it. So the 4, and this is what Bill has set up all over this puzzle. The only empty cells in this row are the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th. And 3 of those digits are already in the row. So 4 can't go in the 3rd cell because there's a 3 here. And we would need a 3 here to put it in the 3rd cell. 4 can't go in the 1st cell. That just never works if it's not a 1. If you put a 1 here, it's saying the 1st cell is whatever the clue is, but it's also a 1. Anyway, something to keep in mind with numbered rooms. It can't go in this 7th cell because of the 7. So this is 5 or 9. 4 is in one of these cells. Now let's look at the 5. The 5 can't go in the 5th cell because we would need a 5 here. And if we have a 5 here, it's not in the 5th cell. So the only place for 5, given that we have a 1, 3, 7, and it can't go in the 5th cell, is the 9th cell. So 5 goes here, 4 goes here, and that leaves us with, we need a 9 there for the 9th cell. That leaves us with 2 and 6. And we're going to progress on this puzzle with very similar logic throughout. 8 goes in one of the odd numbered cells, but not 1, 7, or 9. It's in 3 or 5, and there's a 5 there. So this is 3, this is 8. 2 is just given, so this is in the 8th cell. 3 here can't go in the 1st, the 7th, the 9th, and it can't go in the 3rd, because that would require a 3. So the same logic as the 5 here. So just as an aside, I mentioned these can't ever be 1. The only time you can have a 1 in the 1st cell away from clue is if the clue is 1. Otherwise you can't ever have 1 in the 1st cell. For the other digits, you can't have them in their own cell, I guess is how I would put it. So 3 can't go in the 3rd cell because a 3 in the 3rd cell would require a 3 in the 1st cell as well, and that breaks. So the only place for 3 is the 5th cell. 6 can't go in the 1st, 5th, or 9th, so it's in the 3rd or 7th, and I don't see any problem with that immediately, so we'll just mark that as 3, 7. Alright, let's look vertically. 6 here could go in the 3rd or 5th, but there's a 6 in the box, so it must go in the 3rd. 8 now can only go in the 5th, because we have the other odd digits. That makes that a 2. Alright, 2 can't go in the 1st, 7th, or 9th, so it goes in one of these. But it can't go in the 3rd because of this 3 here. It must go in the 5th. The 4 now must go in the 3rd away. And yeah, even though these are coming from different directions, because of the setup that Bill used here, we're still looking at odd digits. So from this side, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. From this side, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Going the other way. This is an 8. These are 2 and 9. These are 1 and 5. These are 6, 7, 8. And this can't be 6 because of the clue here. A 6 here would require a 5 in the first cell. We can't have that. So that's 7, 3, that's the 6 from the clue, not 2, 4. Ah, moving the wrong digit. Alright, 5 in this one. Can't go in first or ninth. And then we have a 3 and a 5 in the row already, so this must go in the 7th cell. And the 8 here, the only odd digit is 9, so that's where that goes. And I think that's all the clues, hopefully. Hopefully I didn't overlook one. This row needs an 8, it's got to go there. These are 2, 6. Where do we want to look next? This column, 2, 4, 6. It's got to be the 6. There's a 2 here. That's going to resolve our 2 6s, which is nice. This column needs 3, 4, and 6. This is the 4, 3, 6, and that 6. 2 and 4 here are resolved. 3 and 7 are resolved. 5 and 9 are resolved. And I think we're just going to be left with these corners, plus, actually that one's resolved. And that one's resolved. So just the corner boxes and the corner cells in those boxes. 5 can't go in these cells. 6 can't go in these cells. So this is a 1, 4 pair. 1, 4, 9, that's got to be the 9. 7 could go in either of those. Oh, there is a 4 here. Okay. 1 and 7 in these. These are 1 and 8. These are 7 and 9. 3 and 7. Oops. 7 and 1. 1 and 2. That's the solution. Yeah, the setup in this puzzle is really helpful with the odd digits. Hopefully, if you weren't familiar with this variant, those little tips helped about the 1 and the non-1 digits. I think we've done a few of these in GAS, so if this is new to you, you might look back at some of our older puzzles and get a feel for different setups, because this is a very special setup with the odd digits, and it flows very nicely. But I hope you enjoyed that. Let us know how you did in the comments, and I will see you next time.